The Krystal Gene. I thought this was so interesting. You had a lot of things kind of going on with it, but the idea that like something coded genetically or something like hidden or locked within genetics is the key to everything, I think is really interesting, because I think it's one of the things that a lot of kind of like everyday people don't have a very deep understanding of. So I feel like as filmmakers and as storytellers, you can kind of play with that a lot. And because it's not something that like I have the most basic understanding of how DNA works in general. So something like this was really fun for me because it let me buy into the story more, because I didn't have like I don't have like a background in, DNA or science or anything like that. So it allowed me to buy into the story that much easier, because it's just not something that I can like really speak on with authority. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like whatever you're saying works for me, and that was a nice into the story. And then to have these kind of different competing things of like being hunted down, being finding yourself in a position where you've obviously gotten into this cabin in the woods, so you obviously sought these people out in some way, shape, or form, or agreed to go with them, with your son at some point, and then having this kind of crisis of faith, crisis of confidence, of when doubt really seeps in because the unknown is right in your face and so scary. What do you do in that moment? How do you respond back? Do you default to something familiar because that's what even if it's dangerous, even if or do you take the risk and stick with something even though you have no idea if it's going to be the right thing, or just kind of embracing the unknown. So I thought this was really, really interesting, and you had a couple, like I said, competing things going on with it, but such an intriguing story, and I thought it was really well told.
This film was fascinating. I absolutely love the idea of sci-fi combined with the ancient runes. I know when I travel to that part of the world, the UK, Ireland, and all that, those are my favorite things to visit. So the idea of a black ops operation behind these and what they really mean, that they actually know, and that we're still connected to them, and putting it into a film, and the reason why, it's wonderful. And the operation behind it, that it's a way to return to a different galaxy, that we have a home galaxy, that we're maybe aliens from a different planet and returning home. I just absolutely love the idea behind this film. The effects were wonderful. The fact that innocent souls like kids can open the runes to these portals, it's just such a fascinating idea. It really was a wonderful film.
The Krystal Gene starts out as this film that is based on true events and declassified files and Black Ops testimonies. So when we enter this world, I'm walking in with the mindset of how much of reality is inspired by within this piece, as we get to touch with these different elements of whether it be having these psychic moments to be able to tell that danger is nearby, to split a veil in the universe and to be able to travel within another dimension within that. They are a group of scientists that have this type of device that is able to lead them into a new unknown. And the military is just on the depths of finding them and possibly taking out the problem. We're kind of unsure, so we really root for our characters to get out and away from the military, as opposed to trying to work with our military. And why is that? Probably because of the current world that we live in. And so we get to have this moment of witnessing the story, and then honestly coming back with a lot of different questions, because how much of this is inspired by our Earth's reality?